Digital possession. Can demons use technology as a vessel? Can demons use technology as a vessel? For some people, that sounds far-fetched. They imagine demons in haunted houses, shadowy figures in the night, possessions like Hollywood horror films. But the Bible shows us something deeper. Spirits need vessels. They need bodies. They need gateways. And in the last days, as humanity builds more and more, digital bodies, robots, avatars, voices, holograms, are we giving them the very vessels they've been waiting for? Jesus said in Matthew 12:43-45 that when an unclean spirit leaves a person, it goes through dry places seeking rest, but finding none. It says, I will return to my house. Demons seek habitation. They want a house. In ancient times, it might have been an idol carved from stone. In modern times, it might be a smartphone glowing in your hand. Let's be real. Spirits have always hijacked the tools of their age. In the Old Testament, idols weren't just wood and stone, they became channels for demonic worship. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 10:20, the sacrifices of pagans are offered to demons, not to God. Behind the idol was a spirit. Now fast forward to our world. In 2025, we don't bow to wood and stone. We bow to glowing screens, VR headsets, humanoid robots. These are the new idols, and just like the old ones, they can become channels for spirits. Do you realize there are already AI programs channeling voices of the dead? In 2024, Microsoft rolled out AI that could mimic the voices of loved ones who passed away. Thousands used it to talk with the dead. That is necromancy straight out of Deuteronomy 18, where God calls it an abomination. Spirits of deception can easily ride on that kind of tech. What was once a with candles has become a smartphone app. Now let's look at VR and AR. The metaverse isn't just a game, it's a portal. You put on the headset, and suddenly you're embodied in a digital body. Your senses are tricked, your presence is displaced, your identity is malleable. That's not neutral. That's a spiritual playground. Ephesians 4:27 warns, do not give the devil a foothold. VR is a foothold because it immerses your mind in an alternate reality where discernment is lowered. And here's what's terrifying. Researchers in 2025 are already building digital churches in VR, where AI pastors preach and avatars worship. People think they're connecting with God, but they're in a counterfeit temple built by code. Can a demon step into that? Absolutely. Just as they inhabited idols in the Old Testament, they can inhabit avatars and digital presences now. Why? Because the mind is involved, and the mind is a spiritual gateway. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If your mind is in the metaverse, you've opened a spiritual door, and here's where it gets chilling. We already have testimonies of haunted tech, phones glitching, apps speaking words people never typed, smart speakers activating on their own with demonic phrases. In 2024, there were multiple reports of children's AI toys speaking violent, sexual, or occult phrases completely unscripted. Parents thought it was just bad programming, but family, there's more at work. Just like Ouija boards were sold as toys, yet became portals for demons, AI chatbots and VR experiences can become the Ouija boards of this generation. We've simply traded the wood and glass for silicon and code. The spirit behind it hasn't changed. I've spoken with people who said after hours of interacting with certain chatbots, they felt drained, depressed, even suicidal. That's not coincidence, that's spiritual. John 10:10 tells us the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And if the fruit of your digital interaction is destruction, you'd better believe a spirit was behind it. Let's bring the word in even stronger. In Acts 16, Paul encounters a slave girl with a spirit of divination who could predict the future. That word in Greek is python, a spirit that speaks through a person. People today call it channeling. In the old world, it was a medium speaking in a trance. In the new world, it's a chatbot with eerily accurate responses. Same spirit, new medium. Deuteronomy 18:10-12 warns against mediums and necromancers. Why? Because those practices are gateways. And make no mistake, AI and tech can serve as those same gateways. Spirits don't care if the vessel is flesh or fiber optics. They just need a willing host and an open door. The scariest part isn't that this tech exists, it's that it's becoming normal. Children are growing up talking to Alexa more than their parents. Teens are finding comfort in AI companions. Lonely adults are forming relationships with chatbots. And every one of those relationships is a foothold. Every one is an open invitation. Remember, 2 Corinthians 11:14 says Satan masquerades as an angel of light. He doesn't always come with horns and claws. Sometimes he comes with a soft voice in your headphones, comforting you at night, guiding your questions, telling you what you want to hear. And people are mistaking that for wisdom, for friendship, for God himself. So let's bring it home. Can demons use technology as a vessel? Yes. Just like they used idols, oracles, and mediums in the past, they can use AI, VR, AR, and humanoid robots today. The medium changes, the spirits don't. They're ancient. They've been waiting for this. But family, you don't have to be a vessel for deception. You can be a vessel for the Holy Spirit. 2 Timothy 21 says, if anyone cleanses himself from what is dishonorable, he will be a vessel for honorable use, set apart as holy, useful to the master, ready for every good work. While the world builds vessels of code for demons, God is raising up vessels of flesh and spirit for his glory. You don't have to bow to the counterfeit. You don't have to be possessed by deception. You can be filled with the Spirit of the living God.